Alright, we're gonna go over the humane run. Pretty simple. We're gonna start by gathering food. You know, like a typical playthrough would. I mean, this is about what the perks I look like, but you could do this with no perks. I've done it before. It just takes longer. It takes longer based on how much artisanry levels you have. It takes longer based on the power and toughness you have. It's also based on where was it? Levels of relentlessness, because crits help really good. And I'll kind of explain how we go through. But so 38 here, pretty respectable. And then there's the window, which is good. I'm gonna try to buy 3 traps here, and then we're gonna go. The reason why I say the artisanry levels are really important is because the amount of levels you could buy into shield. You know, I'd be like, well, how many do I really need? And that really just depends on your artisanry levels. Like, back when I was doing this, the shield levels were going up to 35 or 40 at most. And it took 3 days just to get that. And you're like, 3 days? That's crazy. Well, I decided to get daggers. Well, also having that really great stuff. But that's another story. I won't. But in this case, we're doing Humane to Zone 5. This is pretty simple. Just gonna get my levels in here. Then we're gonna do Farmer, then Lumberjack, and I'm just gonna keep repeating these, one right after the other. I'll do this for about a good couple minutes. I'm gonna double this one, because you want more food than wood right now, because when we unlock houses, it's gonna be nice. I have research unlocked. I'm gonna put my 5 in now. Now, the best thing I will say to do is after I click battle, so here's this, right? So my damage looks like 16 to 20, pretty average. And then my crit's 69 to 84. Pretty respectable. And then I also have my health being 90. I think it's 90. Yeah, should be. Yeah. So, pretty average for where I'm at right now in the game, with only like 2,367 helium spent in the portal, so pretty decent. So you're gonna just keep buying these huts. We won't touch metal just yet, but you can kind of tell I'm trying to get my science to work up here. And I'll show you the power of really what safe scumming really can do in this game, because in my term, it just is crazy. I didn't expect a game being this, like, open on how to do Trimps. So, when I started the Humane run, I really hoped that this would just, be possible, which it was. So, I made a challenge of it. So, now, I'm showing you how to get to Zone 5. Pretty respectable here. So now you can see I'm building workspaces, then getting huts, then doing workspaces, and then huts. Keeping a good jazz of what I need. You want a ton of huts and houses. I know it sounds crazy, but honestly, having them now is better than the late game when we get to it. So you'll see me kind of wait here for a minute, but that's kind of expectable. Buy 1 barn shed, actually buy 2. Now, I have 100% pack rat, so I'm going to be doubling every time. But this basically, these levels that I'm going to be doing, these counts of wood and metal, are going to be about what you should do. Because they're pretty decent. Now, when you get shield, your objective is to have at least 200 to 300 toughness. I know that sounds like a lot. In reality, when you have a lot of toughness in the perk, it's not as bad as it sounds. Because again, we have shield, and we have dagger, and we have boots. And then we have cord book. Cord books are going to help you along the entire way to zone 5. This is pretty simple. And just in case you haven't known, I've already gotten it, because I'm working on zone 50. So, working on huts, buying more at this point. You can kind of see I have no trimps now, but that's fine. I'm going to buy a couple more traps and get those rolling. I will say traps in the early game, as long as you get bait levels, are pretty decent. Don't go over like 5. They're just to help speed up, get more trimps in your thing when you have like 53. It's crazy. When you're doing the humane run, it's also be aware that your houses unlock at 65 total trimps. Nothing special. Even on zone 1, you can get them. So you can kind of see I'm 5 off here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check those traps while I'm waiting. Get more workspaces, because I have 10 available currently. Game's going to basically give me like 9 here with each trap, because I'm doing 3 each trap. So far so good. We're about 7 minutes in, kind of expectable. Gonna build the traps. Yep, and then we're good, and then we're gonna do 3 levels, and then there, and then just put a bunch in a farmer. Like, the food to wood ratio for huts are extreme. Just accept it. Okay, so that should be 66, and now I'm gonna start buying traps, like 4, and then I'm gonna continue building. And I want to get to 65. You have to have the total amount of trimps currently in, or you don't access them. You have to have them available just once. So if you happen to die or kill them later, it's fine. We're just worried about the achievement, so. And just in case you're also curious, I haven't cleared highest zone 47. So I'm clearly under the channel you're supposed to do it, because the area you're supposed to do it is zone 60 to 120 is what it usually is, or 180, but you get the gist. So we have unlocked houses, so you're gonna have them unlocked at this point. So we're gonna go 1, 2. You're gonna buy 2 here. You want this total to be 16k. I know you're thinking that's a lot of wood. It's really not. I'm going to switch all my farmers over to lumbers, and I'm also going to buy this last hut over here. And then I'm going to start building. You can kind of see I have 2 minutes for 4,000. So that should be about 8 minutes for 16k. Pretty reasonable. I will say, if you have a staff of heirloom that helps that wood per second, all the merry. You don't have to have it, though. Nor do you need any motivation levels, but it helps the more you have. Okay, so buying 1 more level shield. Pretty. And then we're basically gonna be waiting 4 minutes. You can kind of get away with 8K, but if you can go like 10K, it's better. But you want the 16K storage for later. Trust me, it's decent. So we'll be right back as soon as I get that 4 minutes. Alright, that should look like a real quick flash to have 9K. So at this point, I'm going to copy the file, and then I'm going to click Fight. I'm going to pause, and then be aware of speedy enemies are going to hate you regardless, and then... Oh, and yeah, let's have this on so we can still have to show that it's still earnable. Okay, so this says 19. I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to... If it doesn't roll perfectly, we're going to just do it again. Why I'm saying having more damage is better. 15 kills, 15 kills, 16 kills. And now I've unlocked shield, so we're going to copy. Then we're going to go to max. Again, if you have a high enough level, you don't need a save scan. But in case you're that low and you need to, that's fine. So if you were to get past this point and now you need health, just unpause, buy the shield, and export again. Now, as you're zooming, your next enemy, which the Swimp is, after it dies, in this case, the shield level will just update automatically either way. Which, if I were to just instant import, then it would have just done that, so, as well. So in this case, we would have imported the same file, and it would have loaded the health. So here we go. 12 kills, 23 doesn't kill. Now, you're probably like, okay, so I guess we're just going to crit roll this. And there it is. It's dead. Gonna just double check. Always, if you always defeat an enemy, always save. I know it's gonna be like a, but why? But there's gonna be a point where you really don't want to. So there's that. And then I need to get another crit with this. My crit chance is about a 15% chance. So we're gonna be rolling this for a couple seconds. Just a quick Control V, Enter, and then spacebar. And if you just do that real fast, you can get these loads real quick and easy. If not, just do it slow and you kind of cheat and then have a little mess up there because I clicked the wrong button. But when you get used to it, you get used to it. Oh, and if you ever screw up at any point and you want to go back and you realize you imported over something, before you, at this point in the video, do Windows V if you're on Windows and set that up, because I'm telling you, it saves me so many times to just Windows V and I pull up all my copy and paste files history. It's so helpful. Like, honestly, it's the best thing if you're doing safe scanning. Okay, so this enemy doesn't die, so we're gonna do another crit roll. It did. Good. That's dead. That's dead. Always kind of like tap pause in case something doesn't go the way you expect, and that way you can always save. So, like, if I did, that chimp would have still hit me. So we're gonna just try to get a 20 here. Pretty easy. And then I have to do another one. And remember, if I was 5% lower tough or power, I wouldn't be able to hit 20s. So, it's possible. 14, pretty respectable. Now, I will say discipline sounds good. And it does help get higher rolls. So if you want to just do this easier, do discipline. But the problem is, with those disciplines, you can also get 0 damage rolls, and those suck. So, it's a pick a battle type situation. Also, don't buy Bloodlust. Because we're going to have to save science up here in a minute. Which, having 66 is pretty decent. So, 28. Be fine. See, I'm gonna have to roll crit here. Pretty. Now, at the early stages, you might need to worry about that 5 to 9 damage rolls sometimes. But unless it's a speed enemy, as long as you OHKO it, it pretty much doesn't hit you. And you get to kind of used to that as you play, as you do these humane runs. Okay, so that's 28. We're gonna do another save reload until I get it right. But once I get it, then we're golden. So, see this Grill Imp has 24. I'm now gonna go max Bind a Dagger. Like, 3 is nothing, so click buy it. I'm gonna go copy, and I'm actually gonna import this because that Grill Imp's gonna be a little up there. And now I should be good, so I'm gonna just pay attention. That's a skeleton. I waited 17 seconds. Or 17 minutes, which, as you can see, the timer kind of represents it, but it was from my last run, so it kind of is expectable. You probably won't get this on your first run, but if it ever happens, just be aware. We're gonna import, and I'm really trying to hit this buy max on the dagger, and then copy. Now, if you saved metal while you were doing that wood thing, you wouldn't need to be doing this. But the gist is to just get to that miner book here. When you do that, we're golden. Gonna roll a 15% crit chance because it's a skeleton. But I wouldn't have issues if this didn't spawn. But you should always be prepared in case you ever have to deal with the skeleton on your next run. Remember, better crit chances, the better way this rolls. So, okay, there we go. 31, 31, 17, 20, 28, 26, 29. Now, I've already gotten the book, so I'm just gonna let myself die here. Again, farther the better. Just buy my levels of dagger. Buy some shield levels before I die. Alright, so now we've died. Your best goal is to get to here, which we've already done. Okay? So we are going to now get that 100 metal. The reason why I had that 66 science is because we're going to unlock miners. Now, this helps in so many ways. We're just about to unlock. We're going to wait 30 seconds. And there we go. Okay. Now, you see I need 100 science, so while I'm doing that, I'm going to switch all my lumberjacks to miners now. Their miners are more important right now. So you see this 48 to 49 roll damage? I'm basically going to keep going until it reaches about 100-ish. 78, 84, should be about 3 more levels. 91, actually it's 2 for me, but it's fine, because you really want an 80 to 100% roll, because most of the time you're never going to have a need for anything after that fact, which is fine. Alright, there we go, now we're good. Buy a couple levels of forge while you're at it. But don't build them just yet. I know it's crazy. We're just trying to get that 100 science. Again, you could have done that during the entire time I was doing that whole 10k wood. It's an option that's there. So either you're working on metal or you're getting science. And if you're getting science, which right now I haven't explained it yet, but there will be a reason why I'm getting so much science and why those scientists are going to help so much. Now, with all those levels of metal, you're going to buy more boots. We need a lot of boots levels. I need 364. I'm going to go a little more. This is pretty decent for the next hurdle you're going for. So, has 2,000. This is going to need to be above 650. which is fine. Food's going to be 600 as well, but I'm also waiting on science to finish up, which just happened. So I'm going to switch all those miners over to farmers, and I'm going to slowly work them up because I'm running a little low on food here, but it'll get pretty quick here, real fast. But don't move your lumberjacks when you're doing the 10k wood. You're going to just be waiting a little longer. Now, if you want to buy more houses and stuff, and forges and huts and whatnot, you can. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it would probably be beneficial if you didn't. Okay, so science. Pretty okay. Now I'm going to snack like 10 of these farmers off and throw them into scientists whenever I get a chance. It's about 1,000 food. Might be a lot. You're going to find out. It's really good. Now, on science, you want about 250. Entering the exit of Zone 1. Now, I am going to copy clipboard, wait until that food says 600, and then we're going to go. Now, if we've done it right, I should just fly straight to it. No works extras. Nothing. But there's also the reason why I saved in case I have to, in case I fail it. So that way I can go back and reload. See, I failed here. Pretty respectable. I knew why I failed. Again, perfectly understandable. The reason that happened is I got a little unlucky. So I'm going to buy a couple more levels of boots. When you do that, you now know that the boots are now not very effective, or you didn't get enough boots, you didn't get enough shields. And at that point, that's when you have to go, which one's better? Most likely it's boots because they do 4 health per. Because speed enemies do a lot of damage. Alright, so we're going to switch. Like, I want to say I want to go, like, 10 off. And put it in my ears. Buy boots one at a time. We don't want to go above that. We don't want to go below that 600 threshold. Wait, 380. So this will be about 980, basically. And the more food you save, honestly, the better, because we're gonna use them later. So, but focus on metal if you can, for sure. Like, I could switch my farmers out of metals. Okay. So I'm gonna wait for that metal to get up to 600, and then we're gonna start again. Again, sometimes also the RNG is not in your favor as well, so you could just RNG the damage as well, and calculate that out and whatnot. But in case we're not, in this case, I really don't need to. If you were, you could. I would just, figure out the math for each damage roll, and then you'd have to just get the perfect damage roll, or about what you need. Don't get too overthinking that you can't. So, alright, here we go. Copy, and I'm going to fight it again. So you knew I was kind of a little. Let's see if the RNG does a little better on my side here. Yep, and I got Turk Imp, so I also get to do this. As soon as you get past that, buy the horde book immediately. That way your Trimp guy can go a little farther and get you some stuff that you could use. Okay, so at this point we have done. We do have Mace unlocked, which equals more damage. Now, I will say though, take everything out of everything in your work thing and put it immediately into lumber. I'm not even joking. So now all that's happening, build your houses, build your huts, make sure you get them all currently working on. If you have food that you had extra, do it. Honestly, the best. They're right now lumbers. If you got turkey bonus before, now your point is now it's going to be boosted. So now I'm getting 2 minutes to get 16k, and see, all that weight was practically not for showing. Now, with block, each one's now doing for 2 shoulders, so now it's going to be 2 per each, so it's going to be 4 per upgrade. You want about, I think if I did it right, the bare minimal you need is about 100 block here. So you basically only need like, yeah, 7's pretty decent. We'll see what that gets me, but I think it should be 4 times 7's like 35, I think? No, it's 28, isn't it? Let's see, 16. 24. Yeah, I just did your right math. It's okay. 32. Never again. A reason why this is all important. 40. Now, if you're not gonna have enough time just to get a little, if you're like a little impatient, you can go to like 90. It should still be fine. I would prefer 100. At this point, you know, it's a nice, decent number. You're pretty much not gonna get hit all the way to zone 3. Pretty decent. And again, be aware, each time you go to that, start to do the next gap to the next horde book, always have 600 of each, and the 250 of science. It's the most crucial thing in this game. If you don't do it, you're going to have a little bit of conflicts, and that's not the greatest thing. Okay, so, almost there. Gyms. I need about 2 more levels. And then we should be pretty much good to go. Okay, all that was just not hard. And then I'll put a little metal in and make sure I still buy wood, and then I'll buy some mace levels. Now, when you get past the equipment level for shield, dagger, boots, everything else, 10 levels only. You don't need any further. I'm butting that in a good way, because you really don't. If you have really high power, really high toughness, you're just gonna fly through this with that. With just 10 levels. But if in the case you don't have that damage requirement, that is still fine also. Okay, so I got my 2 levels. It should be 98, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, this could be 102, I think. 104, I think, yeah. Yeah, cool. So, yep, and then I'm going to switch straight to all those lumbers, straight to miners. You're also going to realize I am going to put 10 in farmer, because I am going to be taking a deficit from doing that. And then I also have the 10 farmers to get that while I'm waiting to get the the 10 levels of. So we're gonna split like 28 to 40. Pretty respectable. If not, you just kind of gotta micromanage these woods and metals and stuff. But just use the guide we're kind of going through. So we have all those gym levels, and then we're gonna buy all the 10 levels of mace. I've done that. Wait until I get above 600 of each. We have the science in this case, so I'm not really worrying. Alright, copy file, and we can now start fighting. At this point, still keep the metal in, because when you get that next one, you can always put the 10 levels straight into that too as soon as you unlock it. But as you can kind of see, they don't really do a lot of damage at this point. And again, if you die, just report back to your save. It's the biggest help at this point. Now, when you buy helmet, you're gonna have all this 1,000 stuff. You can kind of see this pesky, like, 70 damage. It's like nothing to this health thing. So, that's not bad. See, I'm a little low on science and stuff, so I'm gonna immediately put it right into science right as I'm entering, because I want to make sure I have that 250 total. See, I'm a little low on food, but my health should take care of it a little bit. And now we have trainers. The important thing about trainers is they boost your block again. So, when you can afford trainers, immediately buy them. And then switch all your production to farmers. And I bought the 10 levels of polearm. I'm now flying through these battles pretty quick. Bought the trainers. Now, I will also say this now too. Your trainers are generated as soon as you start the battle. So if I die here, which I did, if I were to just continue and then try to buy trainers, they don't do anything. You're just gonna have this 500 and 156 block per. Again, not worth. So what we're gonna do is buy speed lumber and farming to get that little production up there. If you want, you could buy the metal. Not required, but it's helpful. So 3 levels. You can kind of tell we're already at 249. The good thing is, and with trainers, you don't have to wait. So when it happens, it happens. I'm also going to use my Turkit bonus, and we're just going to fly through these levels of getting these trainers. And I also have 17 seconds to kill, so that's cool. $312. Now the snip's at 435 is where I died at. I usually go about 100-ish more than what that is. That's usually about the ending. But also remember, you have a ton of health, and pants will also do that for you as well. So, about 32 minutes in, pretty decent so far. Need like 2 more trainers, or you can also suffice and just do gyms instead. It's a complete option as well. You got both options. But I would suggest doing both, making sure they're highly leveled. Alright, so I'm going to go with 435 about the highest of the snip, because I know I have enough damage for it. And then I'm also going to export, always export, and then fight. Even if you're not safe scumming, honestly, just export. If you fail, just reload. Because at this point, if you're this far in at Zone 3, what's the point of failing it? Right now, soon as that comes up, buying cord right off the bat. And then, yeah, right here. You want to get to here with zone 4. And be aware, with the rule, it says to reach zone 5, not complete it. So, at this point, when you get Block Master, just push a little farther. And then you're good. I'm not even kidding, like, that's the literal gist I'm gonna give you. At that point, all you need to do is just buy it. Which, at that point, all it is just metal. So, fire all your farmers, maybe buy a level of trainer if you need to. And then, buy more forge, get them out the way, out the door, because they're gonna go fast here. I also have the Turkin bonus still. By the Blockmaster. Now, if I die, okay, do it, and then we're just gonna fight. If you have enough, just do it. If not, buy a couple levels of pants, and you're fine. Buy the 10 levels of pants. Buy the 10 things of battle axe. Buy the shoulder guards if you got it. You'll be fine at this point to just cruise through. And there you go. At this point, we've already completed the Sitter achievement. And that's it. If you want to see a guide of how to go to Zone 50, one chat earlier, I will definitely do it as well. See ya.